Toprak Razgatlioglu's highly anticipated MotoGP debut has hit turbulent waters, and the drama unfolding in the Sepang paddock is impossible to ignore. The former World Superbike champion, celebrated for his aggressive riding and 3 championship titles, has publicly admitted to frustration and a dip in motivation after struggling to adapt to the Yamaha YZR-M1. Fans and pundits alike were eager to see how Razgatlioglu would transition from WSBK dominance to the elite world of MotoGP, but the Sepang pre-season tests have painted a more challenging picture. Over 5 days of testing, the Turkish rider grappled with unfamiliar tyres, a new machine and a learning curve steeper than many expected. The result? Lap times well off the pace and mounting questions about his adaptation. The tension in the paddock was palpable when Yamaha's new V4 engine triggered safety concerns, forcing all factory riders off the track midweek. Yet Razgatlioglu pushed through, completing 5 full days of testing, gathering critical data for his Pramac debut, and revealing just how stark the differences are between MotoGP and the bikes that made him a WSBK legend. Razgatlioglu's best lap at Sepang was 1:58.326, placing him 18th overall and nearly 2 seconds behind the fastest rider, Alex Marquez, on a factory Ducati. He was also over 7/10 slower than Yamaha's top performer, Alex Rins. While this gap is concerning, it is worth noting that Fabio Quartararo, the reference factory rider for Yamaha, missed the last 2 days of testing due to injury, potentially masking the full scale of the deficit. This week, I learned something, but not much because I am still trying to adjust my riding style, Razgatlioglu admitted. We didn't start strong in the mornings, which frustrated me. By the afternoon, we found a better setup with older tyres and I felt a bit more comfortable. The Turkish rider struggled particularly with the new Michelin tyres, which behave very differently from the Pirellis he mastered in WSBK. With Pirelli, when a tyre spins, it's easier to control. With Michelin, when the rear spins, the bike just keeps moving, he explained. Understanding the grip of the rear tyre remains a challenge, even as he praises the feedback from the front. Despite gradually finding rhythm with older tyres, the difficulty escalates with fresh rubber. With new tyres, it's hard to open the throttle smoothly. I'm used to using the rear tyre to corner aggressively in superbikes, but in MotoGP you have to ride much smoother. The team keeps reminding me, but it's easier said than done, Razgatlioglu commented. Adjusting to the Yamaha M1 itself is another hurdle. While top speed differences between WSBK and MotoGP may not be massive, the riding style required is almost entirely different. Braking, for instance, is one area where he excels, but handling long corners and maintaining pace through the turns is proving difficult. I see riders like Alex Marquez on track. His bike turns beautifully and accelerates perfectly out of corners. Replicating that is tricky when my bike doesn't behave the same, he said. Compounding these challenges, Razgatlioglu experimented with different handlebars to refine control, but compromises remain. The new bars give me strength, but I lose top speed and some cornering efficiency. It's not my natural style. I am learning to adjust because in MotoGP, you need this, he added. Razgatlioglu's struggle is a stark reminder of just how specialized MotoGP machines are. The transition from WSBK, where bikes are closer to production models, to prototype MotoGP machinery is not simply a matter of raw talent. The combination of highly sensitive Michelin tyres, precise throttle modulation, and the intricate balance of the Yamaha M1 demands adaptation at a granular level. From corner entry angles to mid-corner throttle application. His performance at Sepang may not reflect his full potential, but it provides invaluable data for both rider and team. Understanding tyre behaviour, optimizing setup, and experimenting with new riding styles during testing is precisely what separates those who quickly succeed in MotoGP from those who struggle. While his current lap times are behind the frontrunners, the real story is the learning curve being undertaken in real time. a process that could pay dividends in the upcoming Thailand test at Buriram and the opening race on the 1st of March. In short, Razgatlioglu's MotoGP baptism has been anything but smooth. But for a rider of his caliber, early adversity can become the foundation for later success. The paddock will be watching closely as he works to translate his WSBK dominance into MotoGP performance, and the next few weeks of testing will be crucial in defining whether this former champion can rise to the top of a very different racing world. Toprak Razgatlioglu's first taste of MotoGP has proven far more challenging than many anticipated. The former World Superbike champion arrived at Sepang with high expectations for his Pramac debut, only to find himself struggling to adapt to the Yamaha YZR-M1. Frustration and a dip in motivation quickly became evident as the Turkish rider battled unfamiliar machinery and the demands of Michelin tyres over 5 intensive days of pre-season testing. Despite the setback of Yamaha's new V4 engine prompting a midweek stoppage for safety checks, Razgatlioglu completed all scheduled sessions, determined to gather critical data for his highly anticipated rookie season. His best lap of 1:58.326 placed him 18th overall, nearly 2 seconds off Alex Marquez's leading pace on the Ducati, and more than 7/10 slower than Yamaha's fastest rider, Alex Rins. This week was tough. I didn't feel strong in the mornings, and that was frustrating, Razgatlioglu admitted. By the afternoon, we improved the setup with used tyres, and I felt more comfortable, but there's still a long way to go. The Turkish star's comments reflected the steep learning curve involved in transitioning from WSBK machinery, where he thrived, to the highly sensitive and precise MotoGP prototypes. A major factor in his difficulties is the switch to Michelin tyres, which behave very differently from the Pirelli tyres he knew in WSBK. Razgatlioglu explained that rear tyre spin in MotoGP does not respond the same way as in superbikes, requiring a smoother and more controlled riding style, something that is taking time to master. The rear tyre is very sensitive. You can feel it immediately. It's not easy to understand its grip and limits, he added. On-track performance also highlighted the differences in handling between his WSBK experience and the MotoGP machine. Braking remains a strength, with Razgatlioglu comfortable stopping the bike aggressively, but navigating longer corners and achieving maximum exit speed proved more complex. Watching competitors like Alex Marquez showcased how the bike should turn and accelerate, underscoring areas where Razgatlioglu is still adapting.